this is really just to get the rough proportions.
And how did you get those fonts?
This is just a sans serif font, and I printed it on my printer. So if you just go online and say sans serif font, and there's a whole bunch of different ones. Sans serif just means it doesn't have little capitals and
Right,
all
it's just
decorative elements.
straightforward.
Yeah, just simple.
And then explain again with the quarters here, because
So I divided the cardboard into quarters, and then drew the letter just approximately the same proportions as this, just
Right.
eyeballing it
Right.
really. And then the high points, or the points where the letter is going to touch the edge of the paper or the edge of the cloth,
then
you can sort of judge, well, that's
kinda
about
connect the
a quarter of the
dots.
way down, right?
Yeah.
Connect the dots.
Huh.
And then for these letters that are at an angle, you can kind of pick the middle and angle them up toward there, even do something like this, and then draw the width. But there's a lot of fiddling around, like the S's particularly, because they're a little more complex. It took us a while to fiddle with those to get them the way we wanted them to look. And with the 8, I would just make 2 circles, one above the other. Some of them are more complex than that, but I think that's very legible. So the circles are, typically if you just draw them in quarters, then you can get the same curve in
Right.
Just make lines to rule it into quarters. Very approximately. This is not precision work.
All those marks were just center?
Yeah, those are just to make it.
I see. So now you got
Yeah,
quarters.
as guidelines, yeah. So I can see the high point of the 2 is just about here. And then we're going to make the bottom of the 2, we make the letters about 3 inches wide. So the bottom of the 2 will run right along the bottom of the paper. So I can put that on right off the bat. I think we gotta make them 4 inches just for a little bit, to make them a little bit more bulky. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of just making up as you go along.
Yeah.
And then, so this will be the bottom line. And then this line, starting from here, you can see that the upper line of the 2 pretty much crosses the center point. So just as a rough guideline, I would do this. And then this would be another 4 inches out. And another 4 inches out. Do that. So there's the bottom of the 2. And then obviously you want a curve up here, so this outer line of the 2 is roughly halfway up here. So I'm going to aim for that spot. And then the top of the 2 is roughly right here. So just freehand, gonna make this rounded. And then I'll just patch this one up a little bit to make it more rounded. And then we decided on 4 inches, so I'll do it this way. And aiming also for that just above the upper point. And then the end point is just about here, halfway down the top quarter. So say we put 2 inches on each side of that. Make this down 4 inches also. and then just round this out. Round that out. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the exact width. Some of the round letters in particular don't really go the exact 20-inch width.
Don't what?
They don't necessarily go the whole 20-inch width
Oh.
because you just don't need that much space.
Yeah.
So that's roughly it. See the line. A little bit too skinny.
You're just doing that to make it stand out
Yeah.
for when you cut it?
That's yeah, so that's roughly the cutting lines. And then if you look at it and think, I don't quite like that shape, you can always tweak it. So this, I can see this is a little bit not right. The first line was better. So if you get to the end and it doesn't look quite how you want it, like this particular tube has a little bit different line, but it's, as long as it's legible, it's readable as a tube. That's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we cut it with an X-Acto knife and then trace it onto the black.